YouTube, but I think I mean, if you guys are on YouTube, I think you'll get you can find me live. I don't know what's playing up with the Instagram stuff. So here we go. Coping. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Yes. So exactly what I was looking for. So we come to an age where women, here we go. Right. Yes, indeed. So you can see this on Talk Talk Live, where a woman with a career, money, and kids can still pull a high value man, if not pull a Chad or Tyrone, simply because she has money. Now, in certain situations, that is indeed true. If a man is desperate for cash and needs a financial outlet for his misgivings, then again, this indeed does work. But for the majority of men, this doesn't work. And Kevin Samuels put that to right quite quickly. And if you see it on Talk Talk Live right here on YouTube, what men have always wanted, and still stick to the fact that, stick to this fact, they want pretty, fit, and young. They want feminine, fit. They want feminine, beautiful, inspirational. They want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, childless. And if you're not any of these things, then you're damaged goods. You are a used car, as my girl Just Probably Things would say. And we don't want to pay high prices for a used car. There it is. So we move on to the average at best. Now this is where the conflicting views collide in this one show. This is what raised all shit for Kevin Samuels. This is what made him go viral. This is what brought him to the masses, basically, and to the world's attention, really. And from there, he went on from strength to strength to a point where he's nearly at 2 million subscribers, even though, God rest his soul, he's not here with us anymore. So we're going to play the video. We're going to finally get to the video. I had a little precursor of what first wave, second wave, third wave feminism is. And we are now at a point where we're at this average at best stage, where a woman of average looks, through her success in the employment world, success in business, believes that she should capture herself a high value man. This is where feminism has been brought to the nth degree. This is where feminism has been tested. This is the feminism test, especially the feminism dating test here, where a woman has said, okay, Miss Jessica Gardner here, she has well, Miss Jessica Gardner, who I'm sure is quite infamous now. She came to Kevin's show. I'll give you a bit of background. She did not know what the show format was, but she came on anyway because she wanted Kevin to rate her, and she wanted to give her advice on what to do to capture herself a high value man. That is the extent of things. So here's Miss Gardner. She believes that her feminist ideals and her success in business has led her to a point where she can demand what she wanted, walk onto a show and say, hey, I want a high value man. How do I get him? How do I get reach my goal of getting a high value man? So Kevin, we see the fight as is right now. So we're going to, I'll be stopping from time to time, and we're going to debate how feminism, feminist dating was deconstructed in this sequence as we go along.
Problem is that when I try to date down and the conversation comes up to where I own a business, the guy is either like, hey, can I come join in on you on that business, or can I put some money in a business partner? And I'm not looking for that, and I honestly... Hold on. I need to be clear on this subject. Where are you at? North Carolina.
Potentially partake in his way of life and his funds, but he can't partake in mine or be a part of what I have going on. So in other words, she sets the rules. She would set the rules, in terms of her dating strategy, and in terms of marriage, and in terms of financial situation. So that's where we stand as of this point. So that is the confliction that we have right here with dating over time. But in this instance with Kevin, he wants to understand if that is indeed the case. So we move on.
Man, I really don't understand. What kind of man are you talking about? Because owning a business is no different than having a job, in my opinion. I'm not getting what you're saying. When should you? I'm not understanding why this is an issue. If you're, what kind of men are you dating?
So just quickly, we just wanted to interject here before Kevin moved on. She is leading with her purse in this instance. She's leading with her finances, saying that this is what I earn, and this is the man I want. So how do we get it together so that I can get the man I want with what I've earned? Because so basically, she's taking on a more masculine role in terms of the dating world. She's saying, I earn this much, I should be getting this much. Right? That's where we are right now. So we continue.
I try to get guys that not
You try to do what?
I try to get guys that's not on my level or chance.
Why? What do you mean on your level? What does that mean?
That's making 6 figures or more.
But I don't okay.
So she's basically making a delineation from the start. She's basically stating to the world. Thank you for joining me on Talk to Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're at average at best right now, just in case you're joining us. And we're at a stage now where Miss Jessica Gardner, Ms. Average at Best, has basically stated that she doesn't want dating anybody beneath her. She wants somebody at her level or above. So she's basically set forth third wave, fourth wave feminism from the start. She's basically stating, you know what? I'm earning $100,000 a year. I don't want anybody who is earning less than that. I want somebody earning more than that. So basically, she's being hypergamous. Now hypergamy is indeed a sequence in which women do not date down in status, don't date down in financial ability, and don't date down in terms of looks. They'll always be looking upward and onwards and upwards. And this is a conduit of feminism, to be fair and frank. So we are at so basically she's saying she doesn't want any brokies. She only wants guys who look good, and she only wants guys who meet her financial requirements. So, and again, this is a conduit of third wave, fourth wave feminism, aka hypergamy. We move on.
You're trying to give guys who are not on your level a chance. Why?
Because I honestly want a 6-figure guy. Is what I'm realizing.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and net it out for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The guys you want aren't asking you out.
Well, I haven't been put myself out there honestly.
But you put yourself out there enough for the guys you don't want or believe you to ask you out.
Those are like guys I met online.
Right. So, again, the men you want are not asking you out. See, you ladies do this. You go and deal with men who you feel are beneath you, and then you ask how to fix them. I'm not beneath you. I don't know how to fix a guy that's down there. That's not my concern. The better question is, why can't you get a guy on your level? That's the real question. Well, first of all, I would tell you, what I said in here automatically is a problem. Why you would come onto a show that you know is a disagreement day? It's selfish. It's like,
We'll just speed by this part here anyway, so let's move on, because again, she did come on a show in which it was disagreement day.
And you said, damn your show title, I want to wanted what you wanted, how you wanted.
There it is. And that is a conduit of feminism. Women will do as they wish when they want to. So again, we're at a point where ladies are leading with their purses, and they're saying, and they're dictating terms, and they're saying, you know what? I don't care about your show floor, man. I don't care about your turns. I wish to come to you with a problem, and you wish to solve it. Now, in normal circumstances, normal parlance, she would be shooed off. But he, again, saw this as an educational tool, as he will mention later. But we move on.
No, and I'm using this as a lesson. That's the problem with too many of you black women. You don't do shit the right way with black men. That was improper. And when I told you the right way, you still were like, well, whatever. So I'm gonna use this. When was the last time you had a relationship?
Like the enemy.
Okay, he goes into the background of the relationship. We move on from there.
Making six figures.
Because I'm finding out that the guys that I date, it's not working out.
What does that have to do with money?
Because I feel like I need a guy that I can respect and admire, and I'm ambitious, and I want a guy that has that drive too. And when he doesn't, I find myself, encouraging him, like, hey, babe, you can do this and you can do that. And then,
All right, so in North Carolina, what percentage of the population, what percentage of men in this country make six figures or more?
Okay, before we get into that quite quickly, what she's doing is she's saying that I don't want to have to coach a guy up. I want the finished product. I don't want to have to coach a guy up. I don't want to have to, have him deal with any of my finances. She wants a ready-made guy who can come in, basically pay his way. She deal with his money without having to deal with hers, and she only wants to deal with men who are earning her salary or more or higher. That's it. So she just wants the top 5 to 10% of the population. Now, if we've had a look, so that is how feminism and hypergamy, its little sister, has made it so that women, especially black women, believe that, you know what, I am of a status in life that clearly, to which I will clearly not date beneath me. I will clearly get a man who is, I deserve a man who is of high value. And I clearly want the finished product. I don't want to have to fight or struggle to get that man to a level to which I would deem as let me say this. Let me get it right. As, worthy enough to date me / marry me. But again, we go a little deeper in this. I'll move this a little further on.
have more to bring to the table than just looks, but also bring balance to their life. I feel like I can help them out on.
Okay, slow down. I'm not understanding. You said they want arm candy, then you contradicted yourself. They want somebody that's more than just looks.
Yeah, arm candy, but something about brain with it, and more in depth.
Do you know any men who make six figures or more?
My dad and my uncle.
Do you know any men that you are related to that make six figures or more?
Unrelated to? Yeah.
That you are not related to.
Not on a personal level.
So you don't know them. You don't know what they want, but you want it. Then I'm going to suggest that you really don't know what you want. And saying six figures is just something that you get taken from out there. But I'm not hearing this rooted to anything. But what do you want ultimately?
So basically, again, let's dig into that a little deeper. She is actually saying, which I find stunning to say the least. She is saying that because of her life experience, so basically she's ultimately saying she grew up in North Carolina. She grew up pretty much relatively well off. And because of this status in life, and the fact that she is a successful business owner, she knows high value men. Sorry about that. She knows high value men. She understands them, and because of her status in life, that she should have a high value man off rip. So, with that in mind, we are at a crossroads here. We're at a crossroads when it comes to dating in general, over time, especially the last century, over the last 50, 60 years, and third and fourth world feminism. So we're at a point where she's literally leading with her wallet. She's literally dictating to Kevin, telling Kevin that because of my family history, because I am a successful business owner, because of my success in life, I, in and of itself, should have a high value man. Period. Off rip. As I said before in the previous slide, I have a career and I have money. I have career, I have money, therefore I should have a high value man. Period. That should be that should be my station in life. But again, there's a surprise coming, as you may know. Here we go.
Do you want to be married, children, what?
Yes, I want to be married.
Do you want any children?
Yes.
How many?
I have a son, so
How old is your son?
he's 13.
Where's the father?
He's not in his life.
I
Well,
didn't ask that. I said, where's the father?
he's not like in it like I would like him to be.
All right, so,
So there it is, people. There it is. We are at a situation where feminism has moved things so far forward. Hypergamy has moved things so far forward. Feminism's sister has moved things so far forward that she can basically ostracize her ex-husband and keep him away from the child that they have, simply because she did not deem him as good enough to stay married with her. Basically, she said, "You're a loser. Get out." Which she has every right. I mean, this is the feminist world. She has every right to do so. Absolutely, yes, she has every right to do that. But life can throw you twists and turns that you may not like, as will be seen here. Thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Done Talk. We continue.
go ahead and take this down, ma'am. Men who make the kind of money you're talking about have options. And typically I don't want to deal with women who have 13-year-old sons who are used to dating men who, this doesn't sound appealing to the kind of men you're talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I was thinking once I start booking sexual with you that
I can't change men.
I know, but I can approve myself, and I feel like I have a lot to offer to those type of people.
So here's the thing. Jessica Gardner, average at best, she's come to Kevin and she says that, okay, I have sent my man away. She sent him away. Again, thank you for joining me on Talk Talk Live. I'm going to wave to a few people here. Thank you for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment. She has sent her man away because he was deemed not good enough to raise their son, not commensurate enough, not of a certain level of life in order to deal with her son. And secondly, the fact she has a kid should not deter her, should not stop her from getting a high value man. Shouldn't do it. Because feminism has moved so far forward that women can call shots as to who they date simply because of the money they make. You getting the picture here? Because of hypergamy, because of feminism run amok, she has come to a point where I am at a stage in life where I can earn what I've earned. I am who I am. This is my status. So therefore, I should be able, through your teachings, Kevin, to be able to pull myself a high value man. Life has been so good to me. So good to me. And feminism is what it is, that I can indeed pull myself a high value man. Simply offer it. Simply because of my status in life. That's it. We're good. That should be the calling card. Kevin is just about to level set it right now. He's already begun doing it. He said, I can't change men. Men are who they are. Despite your feminist ideas, men are who they are. They will not change. They will not bend. They will not break. But she thinks he's the... Well, let's move on.
Okay, but see, you should have stopped right there. I just told you I cannot change men. And you said, once I book a session with you, I'm not a miracle worker. I'm telling you what they want. And you're still saying, yeah, but I want them. They don't want you.
But I have been working on myself this year and looking yours.
Okay, ma'am, but okay. 35, 13-year-old son with a sketchy father. Why would a man who's the top 10% of earners who women across the country want that?
Because I have a lot to offer. I feel like.
Would you want your son to, if you had a son making that kind of money, would you want him to bring home a woman who had a 13-year-old son from a sketchy father? Or would you prefer him to get a woman who had no children, was younger, and easier to get on his program?
Depending on his age.
See what I mean? See what I mean? This goes so deep for black women. They will even, should have been an easy question. No, I would not want my son to bring, I want the best for my son. That should have been the appropriate answer. That's why I sat up. That is bullshit.
Well done to Kevin. He's again leveling the playing field. He's again keeping it real with her. As a woman, as a woman of high standard and high status, yes, you've done well in life. But at the end of the day, men are who they are, and we will do what we do. And the fact of the matter is, Kevin has level set her and said, you know what? We don't care. We have certain standards, and for you to want something different for your son only tells on you. Meaning your status in life, your stage in life should still overcome dating dynamics, mating dynamics, courting dynamics that have been established over centuries. To a point where you can be deluded to say that you want different for your son in order to get what you directly want, which is a high value man despite your circumstances because of money. You feel deserving, and this is especially true with black women, women of color. At least in different other races, yes, you have this ideal, but they're able to level set themselves. Again, I say black feminism is feminism on steroids. They'll believe it to the nth degree. They'll believe it to the highest hilt. That is where feminism is at its strongest, to be fair and frank. At its absolute strongest, at its zenith. Where they deem themselves superior to their men. Where they feel that they can dictate terms in what relationship they should have. And I don't believe any other race of women when it comes to feminism has that. Absolutely no. But here we are. We're at this point in time, and Kevin is level setting her and actually calling her out, saying that you would rather have what's best for you than what's best for your son. Stunning. Continue.
You should want the best for your son.
Of course.
But this is, but and are you thinking?
If he brought home a woman, yes, I feel like I'm the exception to the rule.
That's the problem. You all think you're the exception to the rule, but your life is proving to you that you're not.
My love life is not that good. I agree with you.
That's my point, and ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
So there it is. Kevin has level set the feminist dating paradigm. Right there, right then and there, because your dating paradigm, your dating life is based on your outcomes. Based on your outcomes. So basically, if you don't know any high value man, if you've never dated a high value man, if you can't pull a high value man at all, no amount of teaching will make it different. Just like no amount of teaching can make a difference there, whereby high value man will be outranked by the average Joe. The fact of the matter is that gentleman put in work, that gentleman paid the price, that gentleman came to a certain status in life in which he deserved the spoils of that life, which means high value women, for the most part. Guys understand that if you're an average guy, you deserve average girls. Is indeed the case. So here we are. And Kevin's doing God's work, literal God's work, in telling ladies, you know what? You gotta slow your roll. You gotta stop. You gotta stop and think that your outcomes, your dating life is based on your outcomes. And what you have right now is a 13-year-old son. You may have a level of business, but listen, we're visual beings, us gentlemen. You're based on your looks, and in terms of her looks, she is average at best, as said in this infamous. Now I'm thinking we're going 3 million views now. 3 literal post 20th century dating life has already answered. But she thinks she's the exception to the rule. And that's another thing. Feminism made it so that women can say they're the exception to the actual rule because of their success in life. Not so. Not with gentlemen. Not at all. Not at all.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are young girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit.
Stop for a second there quite quickly. Here how she's always saying, I feel like. She's in her feelings. She's absolutely in her feelings. She's not dealing in facts. She's not dealing practically. She's not dealing in facts, data, and statistics. She's not dealing with what has been known from time immemorial. She feels she's the exception to the rule. She feels that I can overcome the odds. The odds that lie with 99% of women. That you are judged indeed by your looks. You are judged by your femininity. You are judged by your friendliness. You are judged by your cooperativeness, subversiveness with men, especially if you're heterosexual. You can maybe take that on the road to the pink alternative. Absolutely. And see how it works there, but I don't see things changing over there either. I really don't. But then again, there's a whole other issues there that that's outside of my area of concern. All I can speak to is to heterosexual women. To heterosexual women, your feelings can't overcome facts, data, statistics, empirical data. That means data from the field. That your money can't overcome your circumstances. That's what Kevin's tried to prove to her here. But she's had such a good life. She has made herself such a success that she feels that she can overcome those issues. But Kevin's here to tell her no. Continue.
I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one of you lines. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Let me just your face.
Kevin anticipated this so very well. She was trying to run an audible. She was trying to dance around the subject to a point where, and Kevin sees that so succinctly. She says, look at me. Do you think I, looking like me, should be with someone of lower value? What? Please don't. And that's why Kevin had to say, okay, this girl's going there. She's actually saying her looks is going to get her out of jail in this instance. She's actually saying that. Her looks are going to get her out of this circumstance. To which Kevin is probably saying in his head, are you out of your mind? Hell, I'm saying it. I won't speak for Kevin, I'll speak for myself. Are you out of your mind? Do you think your looks are going to get you out of this predicament? So Kevin had to level set her again. Again, this is all a part of the feminist ideal that she can do what the hell she wants. We read up again the difference in third wave feminism. A woman should choose how she lived her life. There were no rules. The one true rule of third wave feminism is that there were no rules. This is what she's going on. She feels she's above the rules. She feels she's above the law. She feels that she defies logic and reality. And a woman should choose how to live her life. You see where I'm getting now? I wanted to link things in. This is Feminist Dating 101. This is the machinations of what goes on in women's head these days. My success should make me overcome all barriers. Despite the fact that I have a child. I say again, linking it back to what we have here. I have a career, I have kids, and I have money. That should put me over and above young, pretty females. Young, pretty, fit, young females. We talked about the triumvirate, the holy trinity, when it comes to successful female dating, which she has to be good looking, she has to be young, and she has to be undamaged. Stepping everywhere. You don't hear about career, you don't hear about money, you don't hear about kids. But hey, she's the exception to the rule, right? 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 Unbelievable. We go back to the average of best thing here. Let me just check if there's any comments on YouTube. We're good to go. Unbelievable. Simply unbelievable. But we move on.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5.
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
Okay.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
Not feminine. This is totally a masculine trait. Masculinity dictates that because of our status in life, because we've worked hard and we've achieved a certain levels of success, that we should be given the opportunity to date higher value women that fit being successful with men in the dating world. You have to look good. Okay, your personality counts for something as well. If you have a bad attitude, yeah, of course, that demerits you as well. But it buys you entry to the dance. That's why I've always said you are born with value if you are a woman because of your looks. Which is what, a lot of feminists don't go into, but let's face facts. They should. They should tell women that you are born with value. And that men are not. We have to build our value. If it's not given to us by family already. So, she feels that she can overcome anything, anytime because of her feminist / hypergamous ideals. That is not the case. It never has been the case. We continue.
My body's not average, so.
But ma'am, please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but.
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman.
And look what she's doing right now. She's looking in her phone at her, more than likely at herself. More than likely at herself, trying to seek validation. I told you this. This is a part of the problem when it comes to girls rating themselves 10s. Is validation. So she's probably either looking at herself or texting her friend, do I look good? To put that value on her. And say, oh yeah, you look good, you're a queen, you're yes queen, you're gorgeous, you're fantastic. Don't worry about what a man.
And you're making them.
I'm deserving of the best. My friends have told me I am deserving of the best. My money has told me I am deserving of the best. She's not looking at her looks basically being the number one decider on if you deserve. Halfway feminism has taught us that. Giving us that ideal, giving us that belief. You can do it all. You're a superwoman. Cosmopolitan has said so. Now she's being level set. And she can't accept it. Because all her life she's had it her way. More than likely because she came from good stock. She said it herself. And yet when she's been given this set of rules and regulations, she can't accept it. Most people with means can't accept it. Especially black women who have, in terms of argument. We continue. You have 3.3 ladies always looking at her phone. Here's a good question. And we talk about social media activism. So she's basically trying to gain validation through her phone. Social media activism has propelled the movement firmly into the technological age. It builds on the third wave emphasis on inclusivity and asks the hard question of what empowerment, equality, and freedom really means. So therefore, in terms of dating apps, women run the show. She's saying that because I have such an affinity with simps on dating apps, that should give me enough of a largesse, enough of a kick in the pants, whereby enough of a step up on men. I mean, on in the dating market, step up in the dating market to a point where I should get any man I want. And we discussed that on the last show, Talk Live, about why women aren't 10s. Again, we go there. We go there. We go to that diagram. Because of simps, because she's had sex and she has children, because of media posturing, because of ego, because of blue pill friends, because of entitlement, because of coping, she feels she's entitled to high value men. But greater over every other thing on this list is the fact that she has money. And she feels her money has bought her access. That is not the case with men. Let it be said again. That is not the case with men. You can have $1 billion, ladies. If you are average, you will not have access to men. Case in point, Lizzo. She has millions of dollars, yet cries on Instagram every other month because she can't get the men she wants. Because, quite simply, they're not available to her. They don't want her. Her money has not bought her access. As is in this case. Feminism has not worked here. It has not brought her to a point where she can call the shots. It never has been that way. Again, women are in control of sex and access to it. Men and its access, men are in control of relationships and marriage. And who gets married and who doesn't. Unless you're in the pink alternative, yes, do what you want over there. But in a heterosexual world, most of the world, this is how things have been run for centuries. But in the feminist age, right?
About your money. It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids. And you're average. And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you.
Look again, she's looking at her phone. She's looking directly at her phone. She's trying to gain affirmation. She's trying to gain the greater... Let me say that different. She's trying to gain some sort of lift or some sort of evidence that she is above average. She's trying to wish upon wish, hope upon hope that she is better than the rest in terms of her looks. Either that or she's obtaining some sort of validation. Either way, she's trying to cope. She's trying to cope right now.
See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. No.
And you know who's taught her that? I'll tell you who's taught her that. Feminism has taught her that. And its sister hypergamy has taught her that. That's who's taught her that. That's exactly who's taught her that. That's what was sold to women in Cosmopolitan magazine all those years ago at the beginning of the second wave of feminism. That's who taught her that. Women have been sold a lie via feminism. Sold a lie. Especially when it comes to the dating market. That they can have it all, despite their looks. As long as you have money, as long as you can deal with things as like a man would, remaining you're masculine, you can get masculine outcomes. That's what it says right here. You can have masculine outcomes as long as you have money. Well, women don't realize we deal with a different set of rules, and they never came to ask us what it takes to be of high value to a man. Feminism takes a whole different route. Totally different. They'll say, because you are who you are, because you're beautiful and you're lovely and you have money and social status and such, that you deserve a high value man. You deserve a Chad. You deserve a Tyrone. And the media has taught her that as well. Cosmopolitan has taught her that. Sex and the City has taught her that. 50 Shades of Grey has taught her that. That at the end of the day, she should have a Prince Charming simply because she has money. No, ladies. Let me say it again. No. No. As I pull up my snood. No. 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 Men never signed this deal. Men never co-signed the deal. We co-signed, I'll tell you what we co-signed in terms of the feminist movement. What we co-signed was that. First wave feminism. Have society recognize that women are humans, not property. Because men were a part of that. Men helped bring about first wave feminism. We co-signed that. Their focus was on white women's rights, but again, that's a whole totally other subject. But that's what we co-signed because we were part of the first wave of feminism. We were a part. We were some of the world hasn't. Especially if you go to Eastern Europe, especially if you go to Africa, especially if you go to Asia, especially if you go to South America, especially if you go to Central America, to Latin countries. Never signed off on that. Especially if you go to Middle Eastern countries. Definitely never signed off on that. It resisted the belief that men and women were basically the same. We never backseat were in the court system in terms of family and divorce and in terms of access to sex. That's where feminism made its way. But other than that, there hasn't been a change, really. So that's what second wave feminism. Then in third wave feminism, that's where we men never did. Men resisted. We never wavered off the fact that we wanted our women traditionally feminine. Yes, still do. We resisted the idea that there were no rules. We've totally agreed with the fact that there are still rules. And yes, a woman should be... one thing we have given you is... one thing that we have co-signed on, quite simply. I mean, you've done it yourselves, but we co-signed on is the fact that a woman should choose how she lives her life. Yes, choice is on you. Yes, absolutely. Choice is definitely on you. But with those choices come consequences. That's where men signed off on as well. If you choose to live your life a certain way, well, you have to deal with the consequences. But we never waver on the fact that we totally agree with traditional femininity. Traditional femininity is what men have always craved for, have always wanted. We may not get it, but we'll die trying. We want feminine, beautiful, inspirational. We want fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single child. We'll always say on that. So, there it is. We continue with the story. We're nearly done.
Average people, especially average people. You're an average person. Hey, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I'm looking at you,
And remember, ladies, gentlemen, most of the richest ladies in the world tend to be feminine women themselves because they were wives of well, guys who want their wives to be feminine, of masculine men. They played the game.
dude, but if I looked at you, I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same. Like this.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
Yep.
So, what is your advice for is that?
All right, I'll tell you my advice because you're not listening. That's why I always recommend you need therapy. Most of us in Black community need therapy, but you're not dealing with reality. I asked you about your child's father, and you couldn't answer me. But it doesn't sound like you're too proud of him. What kind of student is your child?
He's a student. And
Does he have any behavioral problems?
no, he actually got a YouTube channel and he's trying.
Don't need. But where is it? But his daddy is alive. Does he have a relationship with his father?
Yeah, he does.
And what's your issue with him?
He's not business minded like my father and my uncle. And
Then why did you choose to make a baby with him before you got married?
young and dumb. I was 16.
Exactly, and that cost. See? That young and dumb shit, let me stop you right here. That young and dumb shit you black women throw out as if it's supposed to get... Listen and listen well, women. Young and dumb is not a get out of jail free card. It doesn't go woof and change the fact. You still have to carry that consequence. And men are not rushing up to be stepfathers to 13-year-olds.
Let that sink in, ladies. Feminism didn't teach you that. Didn't teach you that. And that is, you're left to your own devices. You're left to your own decisions. Actually, it may have. Yeah, hold on just a second. Yes. A woman should choose how she lives her life. But what feminism didn't teach you is what the consequences were for doing so. Especially in the dating market. Especially with men. It did not teach you that if you make choices, you must live by your consequences. The whole young and dumb excuse doesn't get you out of jail. You've made mistakes, you must live by those mistakes. That's what men have always known. That women are getting to know. Because that was the reason for the average at best thing was. Is that she believed because she was a woman, because she was a feminist, more than likely, She didn't have to deal with the consequences of the dating world, of her life with her ex. She didn't have to deal with them. But Kevin is doing God's work and level setting her and saying, you know what? No, you have to. Men are not taking bad deals anymore. We're just not. So if you've had babies before, congratulations. I wish you well with those children, but that's as high and as far as you'll go. Hell, Halle Berry had to deal with that. The best among you have had to deal with that. But again, they have looks, so they have greater tender. It's all about looks, ladies. Yes, yes, yes. Despite feminism, see, that's what this show is, deconstructed the feminist dating ideal. That you can have it all. No, you can't. You can't. Simply cannot. You cannot have it all. Just like men understand, we cannot have it all unless we work hard for it. Unless we can prove to the world that we've earned it. But with you ladies, especially who are those of average looks, which most women are, you think, again, the simping, the hookups, the acceptance of unattractiveness, the promotion of delusion in the media. You think ego, your blue pill friends, your entitlement, and your coping will give you access to it. And more often than not, it's the money that'll give you access to it. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. You know how many quote unquote high value women? Because you think money, status, your acumen in the business world make you a high value woman. That is not the case. No. That is indeed not the case. Sorry. It's not. And the sooner we come to grips with that, ladies, the better. That's why I had to make this show correct. Feminism has not bought you a greater standing in the dating world. It hasn't. It may have made things worse for you. Despite the ills of SA, that's a totally other thing that I do not wish upon a woman at all. I do not. They should not be subjected to that in any way, shape, or form. But you are overlooking what your sexual marketplace value allows for you. Right? You're overlooking that. Your looks take you to a certain level. That's your value. Yes, your femininity and all these other things, your cooperative submissiveness, it all comes down to it because we will go down in looks to go up in cooperation. That dictates things, but that goes against the feminist ideal. This is why I called this the deconstruction of feminist dating. This is why I called it that. Because despite your looks, despite your new freedoms in the world, it hasn't changed your status in dating. And then you can go to the pink alternative. You can buy a dog and die alone. You can stay as feminist as possible. It ain't gonna change things with us. It's not. Simply not. Especially if you're in a heterosexual dating market. It's not. And once you get the wind of that, the better. The sooner you get the wind of that, the better.
What would be better is if you honestly sat down and asked yourself, what value can I bring to a man?
And I know that what I can use.
Well, all right. What value? What is it?
What is it? I can help him with his business. I'm very business minded on the end of helping organize and into planting my own gardens.
She thinks again. Ladies, do not lead with your wallets with men. It won't work. Unless the man is on his knees, and even then you will not respect him as a man because you have always dated from a hypergamous design, an hypergamous ideal. Unless you're willing to accept the man's flaws, and unless you're willing to state with your chest that you do not care about a man's means, as long as he's good to you, so be it. But do not think that it's your money, that it's your business acumen is what men want. We don't need that. Unless you're building a life together in that business. Then we'll need it. Sure, but he has to be an average Joe to start with. And you build and grow together. Yes, that works. Absolutely, that works. But you have to put your hypergamous ideals aside for it to work. You have to put your feminist ideals aside for it to work. That's the only way it works. So when she speaks of, oh, I can help him with his business, I can help him with this and this and that, she's expecting this partnership in a business. And as they say, a partnership is a leaky ship. And sure, it works in certain circumstances, but us men don't go into things with such an idea. We don't. We just don't. We don't. Again, I've said it 1,000 times. What we ask for women is for them to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, as the God Father dictates. Only then will you find your high value man. Only then. And again, this is based on looks. Remember that. So don't lead with your wallet, ladies. It just kicks you right out of the dating market. Kicks you right out. Especially with high value men. It just kicks you right out.
I can definitely plan. I'm into improving my etiquettes with just self-improvement and working on myself. And
at 35 years old, here's what you told me. I can help him with his business. To respect me, and I mean no disrespect, but 20 to 30% of people own businesses. What about the 70 to 80% of men who don't own them? That means that doesn't matter. That means nothing to the average man.
what do you guys? What do y'all?
Book a session. I'm doing this. Nope. I'm done. I'm trying to go right now. This is how the older you ladies get, the more you get situated. Book a session because I don't want to do this in public, man. But you seem like a sweet woman, but you're not getting it.
And here's the thing about, and here's the ironic thing is, about this whole thing, is that she led with her wallet, but she didn't want to pay with her wallet to get the advice she needs in order to get with an average guy. In order to get the answers she's looking for. She wanted it for free. That's one thing you ladies got to stop, is that you have to stop being cheap with your money in order to get what you want. Any man worth his salt understands that if you want what you want, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Nothing in life for free. And if you want to get ahead in the dating market, ladies, you're going to have to pay for it, because a lot of you ladies don't have feminist, well, you have feminist ideals, but you're not feminine. And you think with a wink and a smile, your femininity will turn up just like that. Just like that. Wrong. It won't. If you've been in your masculine for a good amount of time, chances are that remains. It stays with you. And if you're not willing to pay for therapy to deal with your past traumas, a fitness instructor, a personal trainer in order to get you fit, if you happen to be overweight, if you happen not to be in that 129 to 168 scale, if you're not going to pay for a dating coach, and if you're not going to pay for a matchmaker, what are we to do? Men understand that we have to pay for dating coaches. Men understand we have to pay for certain things in order to get what we want in life. You ladies have yet to understand that. Feminist ideas, feminist teachings have yet to push that to you, because feminism is a movement of choice. You take certain things, you want the chivalrous man, but yet you want your high value man, but yet you want it on your terms. It's confusing. It's absolutely confusing. And you've got to get it through your skulls that if you're unwilling to pay for it, if you don't have the looks, look for the average guy. But you think that being alone, dying alone is the end all and be all. Women have always said that, oh yeah, well, I'm in such a society where I have police, I have emergency service, I have all these different things at my disposal, so I don't need a man. What did COVID teach you? What is inflation now teaching you? You need two incomes. So if you want to go to the pink alternative, please do so. But a lot of women like to sleep with the men that they are, sleep with the people they are living with. And most of you women like sleeping with men. So, not that there's anything wrong with it being in the pink alternative. That's fine and all well and good. That's a part of the freedom of choice. But if you are looking for a man, you have to play by his rules. And that's the long and the short of it, ladies. Unapologetic about it. Feminine, beautiful, inspirational, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive. That's what we're looking for. You're not willing to live up to that? What can we say?
It's so mean.
Don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here, and I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you, and I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone.
Excellent. That's how you treat ladies who don't want to live by the rules. You discard them. You walk away from them. Because quite simply, they're a drag on your time, energy, and resources. You walk away from them. Gentlemen, walk away from them. And that's a deconstruction of the whole feminist dating movement. That's it, right there. Feminists think that, again, you can have it all. That's what Cosmopolitan taught us. There were no rules. That's what feminist ideas taught us. And a woman should choose how she should live her life, which she can do, but doesn't mean that we have to live by the first two rules. Women can't have it all. There are still rules to this. Yeah, there are still rules to this. And once women get that idea, the better it is, guys. ladies. Sorry. But then again, you're moving your masculine, so to say guys wouldn't be outside the realm of the possibility in the slightest. No. Women have resisted traditional femininity. That's what men crave. That's what men want. If you want to date us men, that's what you're going to have to give. If you want to get ahead. Sorry, ladies. It's the truth. So let's go back to this thing again. Let's keep out the third wave, because the second wave we pretty much went through anyways. We're at that third wave now, ladies. Many women more freely to express their sexuality and how they speak, dress, and act. Okay, you can express it, absolutely. You know that feminism can't run the world. It can't. Despite what Beyonce said, who run the world? Girls? No, not really. Never have. Probably won't. For the foreseeable future. Again, part of the third wave. This sometimes bewilders. Okay, yeah, we have that. Well, many ideas and many movements swirled around this in time. The one rule is that there were no rules. There's still rules to dating men, ladies. Whether you like it or not. If you want our attention, there are rules to this. Fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, single, childless. Those are the rules. You must be hot. You must be young. And you must have a low body count. That we know of. There's the Hurley Trinity. Hot, young, undamaged. Those are the rules. That they don't teach you in feminism. Those are the rules. When it comes to heterosexual dating. A woman should choose how she lives her life. Absolutely. You can choose how you live your life. But you have to deal with the consequences of that life. So if you have children in that life, if you are 35 in that life, your money can't get you out of those circumstances. You are where you are. And in the open dating market, we will put you where your circumstances have placed you. Then we move into the fourth wave, of course. Social media activism propelled the movement firmly into the technological age. It builds on the third wave, emphasis on inclusivity, body positivity, fat acceptance. This is inclusivity, guys. This is fourth wave. Fat positivity, body acceptance, body positivity. What was the other one there? Yes. Body neutrality. That's the fourth wave. And their acceptance. Men never signed on to that deal. We never accepted that. Of course, the whole trans right thing, that's something else. But at the end of the day, well, again, that's dealing with... I'll leave it there. The fourth wave encompasses many movements that both complement and clash with each other. This tension is unavoidable. While some types of feminism can have harmful impacts, having a variety of voices makes feminism more inclusive and successful. I don't know how successful it is, really. Especially if you take it on the road. In the developed world, yes, again, feminism is very successful. It has some success, absolutely. Yes. Feminism has some success. But not. In the developed world, it is successful. In the predominantly developing world, no. In places such as Africa, in places such as Asia, in places such as Eastern Europe, even Western Europe, old Western Europe, yes. places like Italy.